person. You want me to bring the mic?
Your name, major, and your place?
Sorry. Dustin Chapman, construction management, spring, unless they can find another class I need to
They're all bringing it.
It's only been like 6 years.
Did you say construction management?
Construction management, yes.
Okay.
Growing department. Good degree if you guys are interested. I'd like to hear this from Susie, but also the rebuttal from the mayor. Susie, I've heard you kind of not so much scold, but tell the mayor maybe we should have gone in a different direction, improve the sidewalks, the infrastructure, the police force, things like that during his 7 years in office. I come from a family that's very rich in tradition in Ogden, very rich. And I grew up hearing stories about the vibrant downtown. And as I got older, it wasn't there. They were stories. Now as an adult and as somebody that has a wife and a child, I feel that buzz again. And I enjoy taking my family downtown. I think it's a very important thing. So my question for you is, what would you have done differently? I mean, Ogden was in a spiral state. Without a tax base, how exactly was the mayor supposed to go out and get new police officers, get new water lines, do all those things without taxes? You have to have taxes, and you said, raising taxes is a bad thing. How was he supposed to do that other than creating the tax base that he has?
What I think has happened generally is I moved here in 1978, and when I came into town, I went downtown, walked our box, did all the stores downtown, thought it was wonderful. I just can't imagine, because I came from Washington, D.C., a place where everything is far away, and it's a bustling metropolis. And I asked my husband, how far does he have to commute? And he said, I don't have to, I'm 5 minutes. And I thought, how wonderful is this? And then after being here a few months, I realized that the city was trying to determine if they were going to build a mall or not. The citizens said, you build a mall and the downtown will fail. I heard that repeatedly. The citizens kept saying, you build a mall and the downtown will fail. And guess what happened? We built a mall and the downtown failed. We're still building a mall that you and I are paying tax dollars for, that we better hope succeeds, because you own every piece of equipment, you own every single thing in that mall. When you stand back and you look and you think about what's happened downtown, it's all been done with your money, with your tax money. I don't care if it's the revitalization of a city building. You go to the Egyptian Theater, you go to the Eccles Conference Center, you go to the hotel, which was RDA funds, now you're going to the mall. And we've all paid for that. And there was not citizen input, in my opinion, because I heard, or if it was put, there was citizen input, but I don't think anybody heard the loud cry. I think there's people in town that look down there that say, what is this for me? What am I going to get out of this? And we keep talking tax base, but you know what, folks? Your money, the taxes aren't going to pay for this. You're going to be paying for it. It's not property tax. It's the RDA tax. It's the way things are going to fall. And we're living in a house of cards, and that's why I'm so concerned. I think we can spend and spend.
Okay, my question was, how would you have gone about hiring new police officers and stuff?
Our time's up. We'd like to hear from Mayor Godfrey if he has a 1-minute response to that. Let me just clarify, part of the debate rules that we all agreed to before was that during the question and answer time, the candidate would just have 2 minutes to answer and then a 1-minute rebuttal. So we're following our debate rules.
First of all, let's do a quick explanation on what RDA. There's no RDA tax dollars. What RDAs are when we talk about bonds is it's a private developer who says, I'm going to invest millions of dollars in this community, and I want to borrow up front my future property tax payments. So they take that up front, and that is used as a down payment for their project. There's a reason why businesses weren't investing in this town. It was risky. The town had been in decay for generations. And so we had to create an incentive to make them come here, and that's what RDAs were here to do. They're here to create an incentive to attract people to invest in a town that otherwise wouldn't. It's not something that you have to repay. It's something that the developer has to repay. There's a reason that the RDA was set up separate from the city government, because it has no relationship. The developers are the ones that are required to fund it, and not the taxpayers of Ogden. So the fact that the RDA debt has gone up is something we should cheer about, because it means that the private sector is investing in our community because they have confidence in what's going on in this town, and they're willing to repay it.
Thank you. We have time for just one last question from the students.
Hi, my name is Sally Fawcett. I'm a marketing major, graduating in December. And my question is for Mayor Godfrey. Was it a mistake giving naming rights to Solomon for the Solomon Center?
Well, I don't believe so, and Susie and I may differ on this, but, Solomon was that's the largest winter sports company in the world that we're able to attract to Ogden, Utah. They were deciding between Portland, Oregon, San Diego early on, and Salt Lake City. And at the end of the day, we beat out Portland, Oregon to bring Solomon to Ogden, Utah. Solomon, Atomic, and Sunto, those three brand names. We don't have money. We don't have a general fund with a budget that I can tap into to go and help recruit companies into town. And so we have to be very creative in how we attract them here. And we've seen tremendous progress in downtown. 60 acres have been redeveloped. Another 120 acres is underway. But face it, when somebody drives through our town, and especially a year ago, it doesn't look like utopia. I mean, we still have a lot of empty buildings that we're in the process of getting filled up. And so imagine trying to recruit the largest winter sports company in the world to Ogden when we don't have money to give them. All we have really is a vision. And we say, this is what we believe we can be. And here are the plans, and here are the things that we are doing to accomplish that. Well, one of the things that helped create a competitive advantage for us was to offer up this building that we'd called the High Adventure Recreation Center beforehand. And say to them, we will give you naming rights and allow this to be the Solomon Center. It's the only of its kind anywhere in the country, where it has an indoor wind tunnel for indoor skydiving, the climbing wall, which is incredible, and indoor surfing, along with a lot of other things. That was something that no other community could compete with. And even though certainly we could have had, I'm sure somebody maybe give us some money to pay for that spot, it brought the largest winter sports company in the world to Ogden, Utah, creating hundreds of jobs whose average salary is $69,000 a year. I think it was a tremendous investment that couldn't have been wiser for the community as a whole.
I think Solomon is probably one of the best things that's ever happened to Ogden, and I have never, ever said that it should not have happened. It's a great opportunity for Ogden City. But when I sit back and I look at all the things that have been done in the downtown area, and I realize what a burden this is going to be on the citizens of Ogden, and you can tell me that the mayor can say that we are not responsible for RDA funds, but I can tell you I have a copy right down here, and on page 50, I can lay it out, and it says by our accountant that ultimately Ogden City is responsible for RDA debt. It's just that simple.
We, on behalf of the Pi Sigma Alpha and the Student Economic Association, we'd like to thank Susan Van Hooser and Matthew Godfrey for coming to Weber State today to listen to the students and let us voice our concerns too. We appreciate that.